Welcome everybody. Thursday's Thoughts with Terry today. End of April already. Can you believe it? Just 2 more days until we're in the 5th month of the year. Man, this year's gone by fast. It's kind of gone by ups and downs with all types of things going on. But here we are, 4 months into the year of 2020 and we're still making it. We're still doing it. We're still moving forward, right? That's my hopes for you. I'm not one that wants to sit still. I'm not one that's going to lag behind. I'm not one that's going to stop because of a little speed bump or maybe because of a pothole. That's Terry Linscott. I'm just not going to do that. And so I'm praying that you're doing the same thing. But I just got a thought for you today. Last couple of weeks we've been talking about visionary leadership as well as leading versus managing. And today my thought is this, is the mental capacity to lead. Yeah, that's right, is having the mental capacity to lead. And I think so many times we struggle with this one. And I've got 3 honest thoughts that I really think that we need to look at in this one thought. That having that mental capacity to lead, there's 3 things I want to deal with. The first one is the simple one, is that our mental capacity controls our destiny. And I think that's the reality is when you look at trouble, when you look at problems, when you look at issues, there's one of 2 ways that I think you can look at it. And our mental capacity determines what it looks like on the other side of that problem. A, you look at the problem as it's a problem that halts progress and I can't get beyond this, so this is all I have. Or B, you look at the problem and say this, hey, I'm the problem solver, so let's solve the problem. So it's one of those 2 things. And our mental capacity, where we're at in our mindset, will dictate how we respond to a problem. Leaders are to have a very high level of mental capacity in leadership. A mental capacity is not just an intellect, it's a courage to face the problem, the giant, and know that you're already going to win it because you can see beyond it. This is what I'm talking about in leaders. Leaders need a mental capacity to lead, not just a mental capacity to become successful. Now, there's a difference. Sometimes we do things just to find financial success or career success, and that's fine. But the mental capacity to lead inside of a problem or a trouble or an issue, it requires more than just success. It requires that strength and fervency to fulfill the vision that you've been projecting and preaching to your people. That's what leaders do, having a mental capacity to lead. I want you to realize that not only does it control our destiny, our mental capacity controls the way we respond to things, how we think about things, how we think about problems, how we think about the future. How can we use this problem as a stepping stone to my next venture or my next level of success? Nothing in life ever happened, without problems or without failures or without the lack of success. You think of Thomas Edison, when it took him 1,000 times to create the light bulb. Nobody asked him about how horrible those 1,000 times were and with the idea that that's who he was. He said this, that each one of those were just steps to learning how to do it right. So every time you have a problem, every time you have a failure in your business, your leadership, whatever it is, your mental capacity will be determining how you respond to that problem. And I think that's a big issue for me, is that leaders have to have a strong mental capacity, have to have a fervency about them that no matter what comes their way, kind of like that stream of water that you see flowing behind me, it just moves things right out of its path. It may be blocked for a moment, but it creates another avenue to get out from where it's at. That's what leaders do. Having a mental capacity to break through the barriers, break through the mold, break through the issues of life, not stopping because of them, but realizing that I am a problem solver and I have the ability to solve this problem. What is that in your problem, in your business, in your career, in your family, whatever it is? What is the problem that you're facing today, and how do you see yourself beyond it? Do you have the capacity to mentally to see that thing with strength to get beyond it with great courage? That's my challenge for you today. I said this a couple times over the last few months, and I really believe this. Our mental capacity is really based on the people that we're listening to and the people that we're hanging out with. You can't learn kingship mentality from a servant's mentality. You can't learn how to be a king by hanging out with a bunch of servants. You cannot do that. If you're going to be the king, you've got to walk with kings. You've got to be around kings. You've got to do that. You think of a lion, and this is the thought. A lion has no association with any other animal. It's one of the only animals that has their own pride. They hang out with their own kind. They don't hang out with other animals. They hang with their own. Kings, listen, leaders have their own. You hang out with your own leaders. I've said this before. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You want to be a leader, you've got to find the right friends. You've got to find the people that are going in the direction you want to go. If you want to be, now watch what I'm going to say. If you want to be a gamer all your life, hang out with gamers. But if you want to be a father, get away from gamers and get around people that are fathers. You want to be a gamer all your life? Listen, young people, this is what I'm talking about right now. Is so many times we have aspirations to become better than we are, but yet we find ourselves hanging with the people that we are right now. We haven't connected with the people that are going to teach us how to become what we want to be. We've got to get around some people to have this mental fortitude to be able to encounter and go through problems in our life. Get around right people. Kings hang out with kings. We don't hang out with people that are not that. And I don't mean to be belittling, but listen to what I'm saying. You can't have a servant's mentality and become a king. You got to have a king's mentality, and you don't get that from hanging out with servants. Just listen to what I'm saying, and please take that to understanding. To have the mentality of leadership to go through something, you've got to make some adjustments. You and I have to take a hard look at ourselves. We have to. We've got to rate ourselves. We've got to be really conscious of where we are, what we're doing, and how we're doing it. We've got to take a self-evaluation test, because here's the reality. We can't lead people beyond the place that we've arrived at. Can't do it. You cannot lead people beyond where you're at right now. You can bring them to where you are, but you can't take them any further than where you are in your life. If we are stuck, and wherever we're stuck at, then everyone that I meet, listen, if I'm stuck in a place, then everyone that I meet is going to be influenced by that limitation. That's it. They can't go no further. They can't see beyond what I'm at right now. And as leaders, if we're going to have this mental capacity to lead, we'd have to, watch what I'm going to say, better ourselves. We have to work on ourselves. We have to evaluate, and we also have to, listen, do some self-growth in our life. We got to grow by leadership. We got to grow in our personal demeanor. We got to become disciplined about ourselves. We got to discipline the way we eat, the way we work out, what our daily routine is, how we do things. That's what leaders do. They're disciplined people. And you cannot, lead people beyond the place that you're already at. So if you don't like where you are, don't blame somebody else. Go do some work and get beyond there and watch what God will do. You're going to influence people right where you are. You can't influence them beyond them. I want to challenge you with that. Leaders, and I'm going to close with this thought, because the mental capacity to lead is, where is your mind and how are you thinking and how do you see the problems and where are you going after them? What are you doing about your own life? What's the discipline that you have in your own life? This is my thought today, because leaders don't wait. We don't wait for things to set right and line up properly. We initiate. Leaders initiate change in their own environment. That's what a leader does. And I want to challenge you today, is you initiate change. You initiate the trail that you want people to follow you in. I said it last week. I said leadership is a privilege. It's not a right. It's a privilege that people would follow you. And we got to take leadership responsibility and make sure we understand that leadership responsibility is really about bettering the quality of life of people that follow me. Blaze a trail, leaders. Have a mental capacity in the midst of problems to blaze a trail and watch what happened in your life and watch what will happen to the people that follow you. You'll better not just only your quality of life, you'll better theirs. I want to challenge you to have a mental capacity of strength, fervency, and a fortitude to be able to make it through every problem. You're a problem solver. Don't let the problem take you out. You take out the problem. Better yet, make them a footstool, or let them become your stepping stones to that next phase of success in your life. Challenge you to continue to join me on Thursdays. I appreciate you joining me today. It's Thursday's Thoughts with Terry.